gentlemen, I want to welcome you to Laughing Vikings Live Comedy Alley. Thank you for joining us here on your Saturday night. Woo! We have one, the hostess with the mostest, the one who was maybe born in an alley, we'll never know, but you're going to find out tonight. We have for you Lars Classington.
Welcome to Comedy Alley, everyone. Give it up for Brandon Knox, a.k.a. the DK Broiler. DJ / hype man. Kill that. Kill it. There we go. All right. Welcome. Saturday, August 14th. We got an intimate show for you guys planned today. And some of my favorite comedians on the show. So you guys are in for a treat, especially you two, because I believe it's your first time here. Yes. Mallory, is it? Welcome. I see that you guys made an initial move for these front two tables, and you're like, nah. Let's keep some distance. But it's still pretty close, and there's also a long cord on this microphone. So if I want to get to you, I can get to you. But for now, we'll keep a safe 12 feet. I think that's double the distance. So this is your first time here in the alley? It is. This is formerly known as just Alley. This used to be, a month and a half ago, this was just a plain old alley. None of this existed. In fact, it was one of the most unfunny alleys in the land. It was known for its drudgery, this alley. There was nothing funny happening in this alley whatsoever. The previous name for this was Tax Return Alley. It was very, very boring. Just a bunch of accountants like, oh my God, I hate my life. How do we end up in this alley? Before that, it was Paint Dry Alley. They were just like, painting the walls, trying to sell tickets. People just come and watch the paint dry. It was a disaster. They obviously went all out of business. And then I was like, you know what? I think we can punch up this alley a little bit. You want to know how to do that? You want to know if do you have a spare alley kicking around anywhere in your life? No? And it's Mallory and Mason. Mallory. Oh, Eminem. All right. Eminem in the house. Mallory and Mason. You guys are some sort of a couple. At least tonight you're a couple. You're a couple regularly. Regularly. How long have you been together?
2 years today.
2 years? What? Oh! This is a special alley. This is honestly such a special alley. Every time, almost every show, you've been here to most of them. Brandon, you've been here to a bunch of them. A lot of special stuff happens. We've got a few birthdays. Last week we had a lady who was overdue by 2 days pregnant. So they literally came to a comedy show because she was hoping to laugh the baby out of her. Like she was hoping that she was gonna do enough tensing and just get really loose, and she was just gonna drop it right here. And we were like, I was like, oh my God, you know how viral that would go if we had a baby on this stage? We're live streaming this to Facebook and YouTube the whole night. I'm like, please, somebody make this lady pee her pants and just have what's it called? Water break. We were like every time I introduced a comedian, I was like looking down there. Is it there? Is she here? And I don't know if you guys heard. For those, this is like a running thing. I'm just off the top of the show. I'm just going to give you Comedy Alley news right now. This is what's happening. I'm just going to fill you in on other audience members, and then at the end I'm going to say, guess she had to be there. But you can look. You can actually watch it in the archives. But they had the baby. So give it up for the people who were here who had the baby. They didn't have it at the show. So I'm very upset at them because we could have made a lot of money on those YouTube residuals. Imagine just the baby here and I'm delivering it. Everyone's howling and laughing because we're doing it in a very comedic way somehow. But you guys are here tonight, and this is your 2-year anniversary. We've had birthdays, we've had anniversaries. We had a comedy spider who hung out here for a few weeks until she or he got blown away by the wind and the storms. We've got a couple raccoons. Some they call them crackoons because they're Moss Park raccoons. They just roam the neighborhood. They're very aggressive. They were looking for money and cigarette butts in here. And you guys are here tonight. This is going to be a special night. How did you find out about this?
We were drinking at Eastbound and we saw your sign.
Yes, old school marketing. I'm just going to go pure signs, billboards, maybe those corkboard things where you cut the phone numbers at the bottom and people tear them off. It'll be like $10 off and people can do it. Old school. Never mind, I'm spending all this Instagram money and I just need to put up more signboards all over the place with stickers. So welcome. So this is your first time in an alley for a thing?
Yeah.
Have you ever celebrated any other occasion in an alley before? That's my question for you, Eminem.
Absolutely not.
Never, not once. You were like, you know what? I want to make this very special for you. Mallory, you looked her in the eyes and you were like, Mallory, we've had a really good run. I love the way this is going. I would like to take you into an alley tonight. She's like, what? This is an episode of Sopranos? What's happening to me? There are no needles in this alley. Look around. There might be a few vaccination needles. Who knows? We'll turn this into a pop-up vaccine clinic. For anyone asking, I have been vaccinated. I got the double vax. Oh, thank you, thank you. Wow, never before in history did we cheer about needles. Did we ever cheer people for needles before? I know everyone's got different takes. My main thing is no matter what side of the spectrum you're on, we're all here together, so we just got to get along. Whether you like needles or you love them or you hate them or who knows what you're diving into, we just still got to get along because this alley is only so big. So we're all stuck in this alley. And if you're wondering what brand I bought, because I know that's big. I didn't buy them. I said I bought them. Did you guys get yours for free? A guy said it was 100. I was in an alley and a guy was like, "This is $100 for your vaccine." And I was like, "Oh, that seems unreasonable, but go ahead, stick it to me." I honestly don't care if I could just do anything I want, but I have to walk through a door where someone jabs me with a needle. I'm kind of okay with it. I think I'm okay with it. But I didn't have the typical brands. Like everyone's like, "Ooh, did you get the Gucci? Did you get the Louis Vuitton? Did you get the Coach, the Zeneca?" I went in, and I'm pretty smart. So I went in and I said to the doctor slash pharmacist slash guy in an alley, and I was like, you know what? Give me the 7-Eleven swamp water. Give me a little Astra, a little Moderna, a little Pfizer, mix them up in a magic bullet, and I'll just chug them down. And that's what I did. And I was like, you know what? While I'm here, maybe a little dengue fever, a little malaria. I just got them all. I just started sticking needles in me. I looked like Hellraiser. I just had needles. I was like, I don't know if vaccines are supposed to go in the forehead, but I'll take it. I'll take it. For $100, give me them all for $100. That's what I did. Called the AstraDerna Pfizer Zeneca. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Thank you. Who said yet? Did you say yet? Was that you? Thank you. Thank you. It does make sense. I also should let you know that you might recognize this alleyway. It's got some cinematic history here. This alley was actually the location for, do you guys see the original Star Wars? This is the original Star Wars scene when Luke and Solo are in the trash compactor, and he's got us there. All of a sudden, it starts moving in. So these are on a remote control. At some point, don't be scared, but at some point, these walls may start slowly but surely squishing in together, and we're gonna have to scream at 3PO. We're just gonna be like, 3PO, turn off the trash compactors at the detention center. You guys have seen it, right? Star Wars, timely. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? This is history right here. Take a picture. You've never seen Star Wars, right? Well, let's watch it sometime, and you're gonna think back. You'd be like, oh, that Lars, he was witty with his wall work here, right? What else do I want to tell you? Oh, I wanted to share a little bit about me too. Aside from being the purveyor of alley entertainment for you tonight, let's talk about jobs. Now that everyone's, I feel like jobs have changed. What do you guys do? Did you do the same thing now that you did in the before times? Eminem?
We're both lawyers, yeah.
No shit, you're lawyers. All right. Well, if you're looking around here for liability, like old nails and creaky wood, you're feeling the tables and stuff. I don't know if I slip through this crack. You're damn sure you guys can be our lawyer. Like break an ankle in Comedy Alley, call us. But you're our lawyer, so you're just like, there's nothing we can do for you. What kind of law do you practice?
I do divorces.
So you do divorces.
Yeah.
Wow. And you?
I'm in litigation.
Litigation. So that means you're actually in court? Is that what litigation is? So you're giving high-powered speeches in front of juries, a la A Few Good Men. Have you ever yelled at someone, I want the truth, and they yelled back to you, you can't handle the
Waiting
truth?
for an opportunity.
Just wait here. I want that truth. And you're a divorce lawyer. Wow. So, I mean, you guys know what you're getting into if you guys keep going forward with this. There's going to be a lot of, have you already crossed the T's and dotted the I's?
Oh, yeah.
You're already doing it? All kinds of prenups. There was a prenup for the first date. There was a prenup for the first anniversary. You signed an agreement for tonight. You know what? If things don't go well in this alley, let's just keep 50-50-50. We're going to split it up. Wow. Well, that's good. And you practice law. So that's different than running an alley. That's what I do. I run an alley. But I grew up in the country, so I'm from Aurelia, north. I'm a small town country boy. I'm not a big city boy. And I grew up in the country. To give you an idea of my first jobs, I cut grass, I cut hay, I baled hay, I picked strawberries, I picked blueberries, I picked raspberries, I picked huckleberries, I picked gooseberries, I picked corn, I sorted corn, I counted corn and put corn into bags. I put corn on corn stands. I drove the corn truck around to the corn stands. I did all of those things. But the weirdest job that I've ever done, and I think back, and this is fucking insane. I worked on a Christmas tree farm, trimming Christmas trees in the summertime. And so, have you ever gone to a pick your own Christmas tree, or even bought a live, well, dead but used to be live Christmas tree? Have you guys bought a real one before? Yeah. Have you ever gone to an actual farm and you hacksaw it down yourself, or no? So you bought it like at a parking lot or like a garden center or something like that. So I'm going to tell you where that came from originally. They didn't just grow in that parking lot where you guys bought them. They came from a Christmas tree farm. So imagine a bunch of rows of Christmas trees, and this is all 100% true. When I want to say I was grade 9, 10, 11, growing up in the country, you know the farmers, my parents know the farmers, word gets out that they're hiring, and so they hire the local kids. Give it up for Luna, everyone. She doesn't like this story. She's not a fan of Christmas. She's not Christian. She's actually Jewish. She's big on Hanukkah. She's the Jewish bug. She's like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. You need to at least throw in some menorah jokes. You can't all talk about Christmas trees. Look at that. She's never left before. That's funny. So I was recruited. So we were like grade 9, grade 10, local farmer. This is how I'm going to just explain a day in the life. They would pick us up at around 7 a.m. I guess it was in the summer, so it was 7 days a week. 6:30, 7 a.m. You knew your pickup time. They came around in a pickup truck. We, as just kids, like between, I think everyone was probably 14 to 17. We would just get in the back of a pickup truck. They would have a bucket full of machetes. We used machetes. We were 15 years old, and our boss is just handing out machetes to 15-year-olds. And here's the craziest thing. Giving machetes and working this job, it's a hard job. Like it's I don't want to say slave labor because it's not that, but because we were probably getting paid $7 an hour at that time. We weren't getting paid. There's no, like, farmer minimum wage is like $3.50. So we were getting like danger pay, and that was $7 is what we were getting paid. But it was very physical work. We're out in the sun. It was rain or shine, and everyone but me, they were all juvenile delinquents. This farmer, God bless him, he would allow wayward teenagers, basically kids who have been in and out of delinquent homes and foster kids, and some of them are orphans, had some tough lives, and they would bring them onto the farm. And I was just a local kid that didn't know any better. My parents volunteered me to this lovely farmer, and so I would do it. So every day I would show up with these rough looking guys, like you're 15 and you have a bunch of tattoos that you made yourself. Like, who are you? Like, they're using their machetes to give themselves tattoos on their brakes, smoking. I think that's how I was introduced to smoking, is the machete wielding neighbor in the Christmas tree row next to me would just be smoking a joint while macheteing 6 feet away from me. So the craziest thing that ever happened. So this was just like weird. It was crazy. And one day, so if I'll teach you. I'm going to teach you how. If you ever have a machete and a Christmas tree, or you buy a Christmas tree and you're like, I don't like what the guy did. This one, I need to trim it up a bit. You just basically walk around in a circle, and you sort of draw a line, and you just slice it off, and you draw a line, and then so it's a nice Christmas tree shape. And at the very end, you just nip the top and just make it look perfect. You got to leave a little bit for the angel or the star. You guys know how Christmas trees work, right? And then it's perfect. But one of the side effects of when you hit it, the little bits of the Christmas tree, they kind of fly. So if a guy is near you, what these delinquents and I would figure out is if you hit them hard enough, it would send bits of Christmas tree spruce at the next guy. So it kind of became a thing where you'd like, and it would like, you'd be like, fuck you. So imagine a bunch of juvenile delinquents wielding machetes, kind of pissing each other off, and like just jabbing each other, not with machetes, but, and so we're walking around, whacking around, and you're supposed to keep distance for that reason. Like that would be the one thing that the farmer would do. He would kind of patrol the lanes and be like, spread out. Hey, you guys spread out, because we would get too close. And one day, these guys, it was pure horseplay. But imagine horseplay with machetes, and we're kids, and most of us are delinquents. So it's kind of what these guys are doing it. And then I hear out of the blue, I hear, ting, and that was the sound of machete on collarbone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I heard machete hit collarbone, and it went ting. It was like it rung. Yeah, you're feeling it right now. That guy right now somewhere is also feeling it. He's like, why do I feel this tingle in my collarbone right now? That was 30 years ago. And this guy, so we're like, what the fuck? This guy screams, obviously. He's like, oh my God, what the fuck? He starts bleeding through his t-shirt, and then he comes up, and we can't see what happened, and it's just a little slit, and he's like, he cut me. And then, you know that thing when you've been cut, but the skin's not separated? So he like came in close to show us the slit, but then kind of spread it, and we saw inside his body to the bone as he started bleeding. And so if you're wondering how the workers' comp situation works, lawyers, maybe you can tell me how this works, like what he should have done there. Pretty sure he didn't have anything. He just dropped the kid off who did the macheteing at the corner, like on a highway in the middle of, like, not in the city. He was like, you're done, no more horseplay. Just left him on the side of the road, and then the guy who got cut just continued to work. He fired the guy who did the injury, and then the guy who was injured just like switched arms and started using the other machete. And at the end of the day, he paid us all $11 for our 9 hours of work. That's the weirdest thing I've ever done. And then now, well, maybe not. Maybe working in an alley is a weirder thing. So there's a little bit about me. You'll hear a little bit about me throughout the nights. I'll be hosting. If you guys need anything throughout the night, feel free to ask me. When we're inside, keep the masks on. Also, the bathroom's in there. I'm sorry that I don't have any stickers on the ground to tell you which direction to walk. Lawyers, maybe you can write up a liability paper just in case two people walk the wrong way and they start bumping into each other. I don't want to be held liable for that. At any point, our viewers at home, live streamers, feel free to comment, ask questions, you want to interact, share this out. And maybe later, there'll be prizes. Yeah, this is Canadian show business. There's prizes. And we have fantastic showcase comedians, all pros who have done all the best things you can do in Canada. The only thing left in their careers to do in Canadian comedy is to leave Canada. That's the point all of these performers are at. So we're going to get started. You guys ready to start the show here, Eminem? We're really relying on you, Eminem, tonight. You guys are lawyers. We want to make sure we get good legal reviews, and then maybe we'll do a courtroom tour of these acts. Your first comedian, he was a regular at the Corner Comedy Club. He's done the Beaver and Bacon Comedy Festival. That's a comedy festival in Canada for sure. And he's a host of another alley show. He hosts a bunch of shows under the Puff Mama brand in parks and in alleys. We're all doing shit in alleys now. Please give it up for Jeremy Dobski, everybody. Jeremy Dobski.
Hey, oh man. Hey, give it up for Lars. You too. Mickey and Mallory, what's their names? You know Mickey and Mallory? No? Mally in an Alley. Mickey and Mallory, the two serial killers from that Oliver Stone movie. Anyway, yeah. Thank you, Lars. I feel like this is like this is like a scene from Batman, you know? Like this is a Joker hideout. Lars just happens to be, his origin story was he was the guy with the machete who cut the kid open. Good for you two, you know, two lawyers trusting each other. Oh my God, how did that work? This guy's a fucking divorce lawyer. How much faith do you guys have in your relationship? You're like, yeah, the divorce. Even him, like, how are you not just completely disillusioned? You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay single because I've seen what it do. You know, I feel like a lady with fucking hair curlers is gonna pop out of here and be like, the rent is late. Sorry, Mrs. Nesbitt, I'll get you the rent as soon as That's incredible. Wow, good for you. You got like a huge dick or something? Like how's that working, you know? You have to be a divorce lawyer and the only other than divorce lawyer, I've never thought about it. The only other than divorce lawyer, the only other profession I feel like it would be impossible to date with would be parking enforcement. Huh? Bunch of sellouts. Oh, not even cops. And what, you didn't have a car before you joined the academy? Get the fuck out of here. I fight every ticket. I don't even care if I'm wrong. I parked in a handicap space once, and I was like, I just fought so many tickets. This isn't my act, by the way. But I just fought so many tickets that I was like, hey, you guys know me, right? Like, look, I know what I did. I know I'm not supposed to park in the handicap space. But, like, we're friends now. You know me. You guys want to throw me a bone or something? And they actually did. They cut it in half and gave me some time to pay it. So, it's all made. You two know how it's all made up. Lawyers are the ones who are like, how do we trick the system? How do we use the fact that everything is fucking made up to our advantage? You're the guys who like pull the strings of the simulation, basically. That was more my solipsism than anything. But and it's cool to talk to lawyers. I could say a word like solipsism, and you guys are like, what the fuck is that? I know I might not appear as someone apt enough to know big words like apt, but, here I am. Here I am. I'm divorced, actually. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It was like, look, I get a lot of divorce sympathy. I got a lot of it. I don't deserve it, though, because, my marriage, we met on Tinder first, so it can work. It can work for a little bit. It can work for a little bit. My bio, when we matched, said, I want to meet someone to divorce. I was joking. I was just kidding. I was like, oh, I'm looking for someone to divorce. I was so clever. And totally. Now I believe in manifestation, no problem. Yeah. I just hold my breath, pass out, and then I wake up and it's there. It's usually someone giving me CPR because I'm lonely and just want someone to touch me. I learned CPR right before the pandemic, but now because of the pandemic, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Sorry. Like someone chokes in a restaurant, I'm like, just let him go. When you start choking in a restaurant, you're coughing, you're all of a sudden a biological terrorist, The punishment is choking to death. But yeah, so we met, and then don't cough here, man. You've got to leave. You got to leave. We're keeping Mallory. You got to get the fuck out of here. We're keeping her safe, too. I finally got vaccinated also, by the way, yes. It took a while, They kept telling me that they wouldn't inject it into my dick vein, and I was like, my body, my choice. They're like, sir, we don't even put it in veins in the first place. So I just started screaming freedom. But we compromised. They took it in the arm. I didn't want it there, so I sucked it out like snake venom. So, Which, by the way, if you want the paperwork, that's what you do. You get the jab and then have a friend check it out. So we got married. I'm gonna spare you the actual nice details of this story, and I'm just gonna go with the ugly stuff because that's what's funny. Nothing nice is funny. So we met. After 3 months, we got engaged. We thought it would be funny again, but whoops, And then we got married after 6 months, and then we got divorced 6 months later. Look, here's the thing. People give me so much. They're like, I'm so sorry you're divorced. First of all, I'm divorced with abs, so I'm doing just fucking fine. Okay, I'm not like one of those divorced guys. What do I do now? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm in the best shape of my life. Let's do this. Being divorced has done wonders for my sex life. Women are like, oh, trauma. Someone's gonna be mad at me, maybe. It's been good, but it's been an arduous dating life. But so we got divorced and all that, and I got the sympathy and everything. But the thing is it was just a mistake two people made really quickly. That's it. I've committed to other things that have been in my life. I have a credit card debt. That's a lot longer of a commitment. I quit smoking. And people are like, oh, good for you. But they're not like, hey, man, I'm sorry that long-term relationship that's been with you forever has ended finally, I was sad to quit smoking. It's hard to quit smoking. Not just because you're addicted to drugs, because that's your friend, That's your friend who pats you on the back when things aren't going well. Especially if you ever worked in a kitchen, that's your only friend. But, yeah. It's not that big. You can make a mistake with anybody right away. You get into an Uber, he hits a pedestrian, you two made a mistake together within minutes. It's crazy. Yeah, happy International Delta Month, by the way. Yeah. I hope you're enjoying your respiratory function. Yeah, we're doing good. You know, good thing we're in this alley with the upward ventilation. This is the only above ground alley in the world, I think. Is that true? I think you should look it up. Do your own research, as they say nowadays. Yeah, the above ground alley, the floating alley. It is like Star Wars. It's more like Cloud City, you know? You guys don't know. You have no idea. But you got an umbrella to keep you safe, Mallory. You're the divorce lawyer, you know? By the way, my divorce was the cheapest fucking divorce in the world. We just wanted to get rid of each other. So I just called a guy, not even a lawyer, just a guy. Oh my God. You know what? I haven't spoken about this. So he's just a guy. You pay him $500. He puts the work through, and then you just hope for the best kind of thing. So we did that. He put the work through, and then at one point he calls me. It was like in January. He called me, or February. No, it was February. He called me and he goes, "Hey, the courts lost your papers," which is like, again, everything is fucking made up, dude. Oh my God. People are like, the government is conspiring against us. Yes, but not the way that you think. You ever had to deal with the government? They're like, I don't know where the papers are. There's $4.4 billion missing right now. They're like, I don't know, you know? What do you think? The mask gets made. What is it with anti-maskers, man? You know, first of all, we'll get back to this divorce thing, but why are they all racist? Can't you just hate one thing? Why do you have to hate all the things? Just one thing at a time, man. And they don't want the kids masked. They're like, oh, it's child abuse. I'm like, dude, we're lucky the kids don't know that they could have taken us out this whole fucking time. They could have Lord of the Flies did us this whole time. No, not a bunch of readers here. Yeah, so this guy, so they lost the papers, and then shit shut down. And I was still married to her. I was like, oh fuck, if I die, she gets my body or whatever she wants from me. It's the only thing I own. It's not true, I have a car. Which I drove without insurance for like 2 years. You hear that, internet? He's like, write comments, they're like, show us your feet. Bunch of perverts. Yeah, so you know, but 2020 was pretty good. Like, it was a good reset. It was good to calm down and reset. I don't know where you guys still, the courts were closed, so you guys were chilling, right? It was like, yeah, right? Yeah, and you have money, so whatever, you know. Neither one of you is Jewish either, right? I'm always saying I'm Jewish, you know. I am a Jew. I know people don't like the word Jew. They often ask me, is Jew a bad word? The answer is, if you don't like Jews, yes, it's a bad word. Don't use it. If you meet a Jew and you go, ugh, the most Semitic way to express disgust, by the way. If you don't use that word. Here I am fighting the stereotypes. Look, like, I'm not a lawyer. I don't have any money. You know, I'm not doing that well in show business. You know, like, but this is to fight the stereotypes. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's all my choice. Yeah, 2020 was good. I got to reset a little bit. We got rid of a lot of Italians. Like, not so bad. Huh? Hey, I'm kidding. But we did get rid of a lot of old people during a resource crisis. It's important. Look, we can't keep everything. You can't keep grandma. We can't keep her. Even my grandma, I know, I have to get rid of her. So when she walks by, I stick my foot out and I trip her. If she gets back up on her own volition, her hips are still intact, I give her more resources. Just a bag of corn starts with a spoon in it. I'm like, hobble off back to your cave, grandma. She's an ogress. That's how I got like these looks, you know? You guys think I'm bald. I know I just lost my baby hair and I'm waiting for my adult hair to grow back in. My hair fell out, I put it under my pillow, and now I'm just waiting for the alopecia fairy to bring me 2 quarters and a stick of gum. Because it won't get stuck in my hair. I wake up with hair in my eyes every day, but I'm hopeful, you know. I'm as faithful as a divorce lawyer getting into a long-term relationship. Oh my God, you guys are gonna have the most thorough prenup that there is. Your wedding will be fine, but the event will be in the courthouses. You're like, wow, did you see that prenup? Yeah, I know. They had steak tartare. It's a weird thing to feed people, just raw steak. We're fancy now. rich people, none of this is my act, by the way. Rich people love to eat stuff that's gross, eh? Really gross. A lot of stuff that we tell people not to pick up on the play, like kids not to pick up on the playground. Like, hey, put that slug down. Oh, slugs. Don't touch that pigeon. Well, it's called squab. Steak tartare, just like raw steak. I don't even think steak should be eaten in your best clothes. Like, why are steakhouses fancy? You're just eating a hunk of cow flesh. You're like, I'm gonna wear a tie. Why is with the red tie and the red lipstick to symbolize the blood you're about to consume? What is that? I feel like a steakhouse, you should be wearing a loincloth and standing on the table. No cutlery. Yeah, but yeah, I've been doing some dating during COVID. I know you haven't. I'll tell you how it goes. It's really interesting. So you set up a Zoom call. You set it up. You have like the meeting set up. You send them the link with the phone numbers and all that. Does anybody use those phone numbers?
No.
What the hell is that? Why do they have phone? Hello, is this Zoom? Hello, Zoom. My grandma's not even doing that shit. My grandma knows how to use. Who's got the phone numbers? What's that for? But yeah, you set up a Zoom call. You have an interview. You have a full interview. You guys are lawyers, so don't be snitches, okay? All right? I know your names. It's Mickey and Mallory or something. So you set up a Zoom call. Then you go over your list of rules, and everybody has their list of arbitrary rules because we don't know what the fuck is going on. Come up with our rules, and you talk about your bubble. You're like, this person's in my bubble, this person's in my bubble. You leave a couple people out of your bubble just to seem a little safer, which isn't deceptive, but everybody fucking up a little bit right now, A little bit. We don't know. And then you have sex. You have sex because that's all there was to do. You just have sex, and then you are like, do I want to be locked up in a box with this person forever, maybe? And you usually don't, and then you move on, and they become another person you leave out of your bubble. I fucked my way through this pandemic. And I couldn't help it. They couldn't take it away from me. I wasn't gonna jerk off for 2 years. They told me 2 weeks. I was preparing. I was like 2 years. Yeah, I found a way, and I fucked my way through it. Yeah, one woman wanted me to get tested before we met up, only for COVID, by the way. That was the only virus she was concerned with. All the other ones, whatever, man. COVID, she wanted that. I had to bring her paperwork in order to, I brought her a doctor's note to excuse my cough or whatever. It's marijuana, Every time I have a wet cough now, I'm like, thank God, Oh no, oh, there's mucus. Oh, good. I've never hacked up a lung and been like, oh, that was good until now. Although stoners are kind of like that. You smoke weed? You guys smoke weed? You're under oath. You smoke weed? Yeah. Weed is weird. We're like, hey, if someone starts choking on weed, you're like, oh, that's good for you. You're going to get higher that way. Imagine cooking someone a meal. They start choking. You're like, oh, you're going to get the flavor profile better that way. Better mouthfeel. This is the second time I've rubbed my belly and said during this set. Yeah, she wanted like a permission slip so I could go on the field trip. One woman wanted to have sex with the mask on but no condom, which is confusing. What is this? You have a real huge sense of safety, lady. I don't even want to do this. Like, what if we have a kid? What kind of mother are you going to be? How are you going to dress the kids in the winter? In scarves and sandals? A tank top and a toque? My God, what are you, in the summer, you're going to just serve them soup? Terrible. You're going to kill the children. Maybe she had like a ninja fetish, which is why she didn't mind that I ghosted her. I'm kidding. I don't ghost. I find it abhorrent to ghost people. I make sure to give them a play-by-play of why it didn't work out. I think we deserve that. I think a relationship or dating should just be like, look, here's all the reasons that I don't like you. I want to know. I actually ask now. I swear to God, I actually ask now. Like, so why didn't it work out between us? Oh, you never responded to my text, but you're too busy having all the Zoom calls. Yeah, no, there was another woman who. We were smoking some weed and we were making out, and she said, you know what? we don't have to use a condom tonight, which, by the way, I don't understand what this trend is. Ladies, I know that in our 30s, your tummies are hungry, but like that's dangerous, you know? It would be so dangerous. Anyway, so she was like, she stopped and she said, we don't have to use a condom tonight. I have an IUD. But I was stoned, so I thought she said DUI. I'm like, well, I'm not going to come inside of you just because you're an alcoholic. Seems like, you know, like I understand that you're grossly irresponsible, but I'm not going to be. Anyway, I came inside of her because that's where it goes. I did the right thing. I love that laugh, dude. Imagine he was talking about that woman who almost had a baby like last week. Imagine like make you laugh so hard you just have a baby and you're not even pregnant. Okay, well I thought that was a funnier visual in my head. Is that the noise that babies make when they come out? Yeah, yeah, that was interesting. The oceans have been on fire, huh? Wow, we fucked up. The water, fire in the water. We just thought it was a Deep Purple song. There wasn't even fire in the water in that song. It was in the sky. Fire in the sky makes more sense than fire in the water. We broke the fucking system. We broke it all. We broke the simulation. Just by like a glitch in the Sims or something. This fire in the water. It's crazy. The oceans are. You understand this? You understand what I'm saying? There's fire in the water. But like, what do we want? You know, like a couple churches were on fire the same week. It's kind of like, okay, we need to stop and figure out what's going on and who's doing what, and take a step back. You know, it makes me reminiscent and almost miss. Do you remember when Notre Dame was on fire? Do you remember that? What was that? 2019, 2018, maybe? It was during Easter week. I remember that. Do you remember that? One of the biggest churches in the world on fire during Easter week. I don't care what you believe in. Like, that's good entertainment. Right? Good real estate. Plus, God did it. God did it. They didn't find an arsonist. No priest fell asleep in confessional, cigarette in his mouth, altar boy under his arm. None of that. None of that. God was like, y'all been fucking up. Time for a white people church to burn for once. I loved it. Listen, I'm Jewish. I don't give a fuck about your church. Is it even a real church? Is Notre Dame like a real church that people go to church at? Or is it like Disneyland where all the priests are just acting students trying to pay their student loans signing autograph books? Is that what it is? I loved it. I ate 2 whole bags of communion wafers and just watched all the news footage. Don't judge me. I know there's a lot of carbs in the body of Christ. It was my cheat day, though. I was allowed. Yeah, I don't care. I love it. I don't know. It's strange. Like, I grew up, like, my mom once took me to, like, I went on a trip. It was a family trip, and my mom and I went to the Vatican. I was like, why are we here? To get our stuff back? Excuse me, Mr. Francis, I believe that menorah is ours. There you go. Luna got her menorah joke. Yo, your dog opens doors. My dog is 80 pounds, has no idea how to push a door. No clue. Could knock a door down if she ran hard enough. Luna's like, it's incredible. Dogs are cool, man. I wish that we had like come up with a better name for female dogs, though. You know, we could have gone with like doggesses, right? Like God opposite dog, right? Doggesses. Instead, we went with bitch. You know, it's my bitch. Horrible. Just some thoughts I wrote in my journal last night before I went to bed. You guys are so much fun. So much fun for a couple of lawyers, you know? Oh, man, parking. Well, I was talking about parking enforcement. Oh, man. Dude, worse. Imagine, like, how do they date? Every drink gets thrown in that fucker's face. Hate those people. Hate them. I don't have hate in my heart for anyone that isn't the police, basically. Parking enforcement, though, lowest rung police, I boo them when they walk by. I bully parking enforcement. I pull my window down and see them give me a ticket. Boo! Just to let them know. One time I flipped one of them off, he flipped me back off. I was like, okay, that guy's kind of sick, though. Yeah. Could you imagine? I feel like you'd have to come out to your family about being a parking enforcement officer. You gotta sit your mom and dad down on the couch, give them some tea. You know, Mom, Dad, I got something to tell you, and I don't need you to accept this about me, but I do need you to at least understand. I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to come out with it. My mom, dad, I'm a parking enforcement officer. Parking enforcement officer. Well, okay, look. You remember how I was always the first one to tell on Brian when we were kids? You remember that? Remember that? Yeah. So, like, I'm just thinking, because I was a hall monitor in high school. Mom, dad, this isn't a choice. I was born this way. Which isn't to say that, like all gay people are parking enforcement officers, but it is to say that all parking enforcement officers are gay. I'm sorry. I understand that what I just did there, but I'm not sorry. Yeah. So, I went over the Notre Dame thing. I'm trying to recollect because I keep leaving my act because I'm having so much fun with you guys. A lot of fun. I'm gonna get out of here after this. So, I don't miss a lot. About pre-times. Like, this is fun, right? You guys are just. This is the best way to have fun. You come to a show. You guys don't have to talk to each other after 2 years of being together. And 2 years. You've been together since like basically the entire pandemic. Wow. That's a round of applause. You guys have been locked up together. Laura, you both know how to argue. That's what it is, right? Your arguments. You both get into a fight, but instead of saying anything, you go instead of like a dissertation. That's what it's called, right? A dissertation. In the other room, you write out your points or whatever. He keeps working on the prenup. Yeah, I don't miss a lot, man. I don't miss a lot. Like, what were we doing before Friends? This is the best way to have fun, except for when you're a kid. Kids get to have fun. They've been having fun this whole time. Remember you're a kid, you just like turn your eyelid inside out and show somebody, and that was a good time. Whether or not they had a good time, you're like, this is fun. It's because bullying is fun. Not internet bullying. That's for fucking nerds. You hear that, everybody? Yeah, I don't miss a lot. I don't like. What were we doing? Bowling? No part of my soul is being fulfilled by wearing communal shoes. I'll tell you that much. I don't miss escape rooms. What's that? Escape rooms? That's over. We've been in an escape room for a year and a half now, hoping that our coughs don't kill us. It's just dry in here, I swear. I don't miss it. I don't miss escape room. That's just proof of how much privilege we do have in a country like Canada. Like, sure, first of all, I can go to the doctor for free anytime I feel lonely and just want someone to see me naked. I can do that. But it's just escape rooms. It's just proof of how much privilege we have. Like, if you could just go to a place and pay someone to take you hostage for an evening, like that's not involuntary in so many other countries where they stick a sack over your head, kick you in the back of a van. All of a sudden, you're just like jerking off American businessman and pulling coca leaves apart. Here we're like, it'll be an experience. One ransom, please. You don't have to pay for that. You want an escape room? Here's what you can do. You can come over to my place when I got somewhere to go. Help me find my keys. The amount of weed I smoke, my whole life is an escape room. I'm always like, I got to get out of here, but I don't know where any of the clues are. And then someone starts talking to me. I'm like, I got a problem solve in order to open the door. I used to love concerts. Like, I do miss concerts. I do miss that. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love all sorts of music, but I used to love going to like metal shows. I love a mosh pit. I do. I'm a white guy. No matter what I look like, no matter how much Drake I listen to, I love a fucking mosh pit. Punch a Kyle right in the face. You know what I mean? But like, I used to go when I was a teenager. Now I'm 34. I know I look great and terrible for 34. Thank you. I look good because I look young. I look bad because I look like a warning on a cigarette pack that says smoking might stunt your growth. Thank you. That's very rude of you. But yeah, like I remember my first concert at 15. I went with my buddy Frank, and we just get in the pit. First song to the last song, me and Frank are pushing and punching and kicking and shoving, and we're covered in blood and beer and sweat and spit and maybe some tears even. Maybe. Whatever it is, though, is that belongs to us is only under our shirt. You leave the place, you're like, oh, that was awesome, right? In your 30s, you go into a mosh pit. Halfway through the first song, I'm like, hold on, Frank. Stop pushing me. My sciatica's acting up. Stop, Frank. Stop pushing me, Frank. Frank always goes hard in the pit, but he dies of an early heart attack later in the story. Stop, man. Stop. Can you, there was an ergonomic chair right by security. Can you go grab that, please? But I would go to these festivals, sometimes in the middle of the summer, 40-degree weather outside, middle of the day, not really the time to watch a band called Cannibal Corpse sing a song called I Come Blood. It's like, I haven't had lunch yet. Can I get a sandwich in me and then maybe we can come some blood? You know? But it's everyone's wearing all black. People are passing out left and right. I'll wear shorts to even the odds a little bit. But I want to participate, you know? But I'm in my 30s, so I want to make sure everybody's safe. So I'm singing along these death metal lyrics. I'm like, murder, murder, kill, kill. But don't forget to stay hydrated today, everybody. It's a real scorcher out here. Drink your water. Blood and guts and gore. Hey, don't forget to put on your sunblock. You're going to get sunburned, especially you, Esmeralda. Remember, vampires especially need sunblock. One time, Ice Cube was at one of these festivals. We're like, fuck the police. And then somebody passed out. I was like, but call an ambulance. It was Frank. Anyway, thank you so much. You guys have been a lot of fun. I hope that your prenup goes really well, and I appreciate you for supporting my comedy.
Jeremy Dobski, everybody. Yes, wow. I hope that is the end of, like, this is my wish for tonight for the two of you. It's Mallory and who's calling you Mickey? But is it Mickey?
Mason.
Mason, right. I was like, Mickey? Is Mickey the name for a lawyer? Like, hello, hi, we're gonna take that motherfucker for everything he's got. I'm Mickey the Mafia lawyer. That'd be a weird lawyer, Mickey Mouse. My hope for you by the end of the night is that you look towards each other lovingly, and Mason, you look into Mallory's eyes, and you're like, you know what? Dobski was right. If we can make it through a pandemic and then come to an alley and enjoy ourselves in an alley, we laughed at all the same things. You know what, Mallory? I think I can't imagine my life without you. So with that being said, Mallory, please sign this 700-page prenup. Please, I want to make that leap for you. And then you just hand her a fancy pen instead of a ring. Here you go. That's my hope for you guys. I'm so pleased to put on these shows. It's amazing. It's a bit of a selfish thing too, because a lot of these comedians are my friends / idols / peers. I love comedians, and you guys are going to love everyone that you see tonight. Your next comic, it is her first time in the alley, but she's a long-time comedian. She's basically done everything you can. I'm telling you, we're going to deliver the cream of the crop here in Canadian comedy. And everyone knows that Canadians are the funniest country in the world, so you're getting the best of the best. She's the grad of Second City. She was in Sketcherson's Sunday Night Live, which is Canada's Saturday Night Live. She's Just for Laughs regular. She's done it all. Please give it up for Gillian Bartolucci, everyone. Gillian Bartolucci.
I like this bob. I like mosh pits too. I'm a bit of a new metal slut. How's everybody doing? I was so stoked to be here. I'm smiling like a little idiot. Man, things have been so fucking different, but we're here. Happy anniversary too.
Thank you.
Sick. I haven't been back in Toronto for long. I live in Toronto. I'm from Hamilton. I spent a lot of time in Hamilton this pandemic, and boy, guys, the housing market is getting bad. It's getting bad. I don't know. You don't know me. I don't know what you think I look like, but it's not a homeowner. I don't have a house, and I can't afford one in Hamilton either these days. I saw a house get sold in Hamilton, and it was literally like a sheet of metal being held up by 2 hockey sticks. And that's bad. I never thought in my life I would never be able to afford living in a place where they advise you to take the bulbs out of your Christmas lights at night because you steal them. What's the point of having Christmas lights? Well, what's the point of anything for living in Hamilton? You know what I mean? But it's the city of waterfalls. Did you guys know that? Lots of places to hide dead bodies. But I remain optimistic all the time. So I set myself goals. Tell myself, Gillian, like, girl, you're going to own a house by the time you're 80. And I get stoked on that. I'm like, my bathroom, it's going to have a clawfoot tub. I'm going to need so much assistance getting in and out. I can't wait till I drop dead at my own housewarming party. You're going to be like, this is a housewarming party? Like, it was. It's a funeral now. She's dead. That's what it came to. So lots of changes. Oh, one change. I haven't had a drop of alcohol since March, guys. Thanks. Thanks. That's so sweet. I don't really know what that means. I heard the term sober curious. Anyone familiar with that? I like it. It's quite gentle. Sober curious. It's like sober curious is like for someone that wants to like try on a personality before getting a face tattoo. Like that's what I think it means to be sober curious. You know, you dip a toe in before you jump on in, try it on. Sober curious. Like, do you want to stop drinking alcohol? I don't know. I'm like, I think about it. Curious. Yeah, sober curious. Do you sometimes think about dating women? Man, when you put it like that, sometimes I do think about it. Yeah. Bi-curious. Want to know one thing that you can't be curious about? Going blonde. Camille? You know about this?
Yeah.
You're blonde?
Yeah.
Are you a natural blonde?
Yeah, when I was younger, it was really light.
Okay, so when you're not a natural blonde,
Yeah.
you can't get curious about it. Like hairdressers are the most resistant towards change. I asked my hairdresser, I'm like, I kind of want to try going blonde, and she is like, you sit in this chair and we do this, there's no going back.
Yeah.
So, you know, we kind of came to an agreement. I did figure out what it means to be blonde curious, and I left the salon with frosted tips that day. And you can't see them because they're on my pubes. So I stopped drinking, and that feels really good. I don't get hungover. I'm still anxious all the time, but at least I have like no fear of blacking out anymore. That feels nice. You want to know what's fucked though? Like there are some people that will like black out voluntarily. Anybody ever been to your local fair's hypnotist show?
Yeah.
That's fucked. People's arms like shoot to the sky to be like, yo, I volunteer myself to get on that stage and black the fuck out. Hell yeah, fuck up my life. I will be the most vulnerable in front of people I don't know, for sure. I saw it so much when I was a kid, and I was like, I want to be that person. And then I became it, and it's not good. I don't like it. Oh man. I am trying to like be better towards like the things that I say to myself, trying to like treat myself better. I think, are we all being a bit more kind to ourselves? Yeah, I see some heads nodding. That's nice. I love the term body neutrality. I think that's awesome. I think for so long, people were like, oh, it's body positivity. But then everyone was like, you don't like have to love your body, you know? So I like body neutrality because it's like, you don't have to feel anything towards your body. I like to think of my body like it's like a crock pot, you know? Like I have one. It's there. I don't think about it. I actually forget until I remember. This thing's pretty useful. You know? My body is like a crock pot. You know, I'm not obsessed with it. It's not an air fryer, you know? Everyone loves air fryers. I can't afford one because I can't afford a house. So there's for sure no air fryer happening. But yeah, it's a very good practice that people should do. I also like to make a list when I'm feeling bad about myself, like things that my body can do rather than what I look like. That seems to help. So, for example, I get like self-conscious, like I get self-conscious about my arms. I'm like, yo, you know what these arms can do? These arms, man, they can reach to pet a whale. They shouldn't, but they can. I love that. So it's all very good practices for me to do, especially because I grew up like my whole life with an eating disorder. It's true. And I don't think those feelings ever go away. They come back. I get triggered all the time. That's why I'm so jealous of ghosts. They weigh nothing. My friend tells me she thinks her house is haunted. And she's like, Gillian, the cupboards in the kitchen, they keep opening and closing. And I'm like, you let that fucking ghost eat. I'm also I'm in the fitness industry, guys, and it's fucked. It's so toxic. I love fitness. I hate the culture that comes with it. I hate this like never miss a Monday mentality. Like you can miss a Monday, you can miss like any day. Rest days, they're safe. Some people burn more calories sleeping, so you guys remember that. It's fucked. We've gone way too far. Like I have a family. I don't need a fit fam. You know, I don't like this all or nothing attitude. These water bottles, man, are getting too big. You guys see the size of these water bottles these days? They're fucked. People are like, the day doesn't count unless I get this gallon of water in me. I'm like, girl, slow down. She's like, I can't. There's time tickers on the side. It's 11 a.m. and I'm not there yet. And it has like quotes to get you going. And it just says like, glug, glug, dumb pleb. Nothing's going to happen if you don't drink a gallon of water. Like it doesn't turn to piss until after you drink it. That's how the body works. So the fitness industry is fucked. I work at two gyms, and I'm not lying. This happened yesterday. My boss at one of these gyms was like, we're trying to get some advertising going. So we rented this truck that has a photo, and we want to get members to take their photo in front of this truck. We got some signage, a little campaign going, and they were like, also it's for a really good cause. It is for mental health awareness. I'm like, that's sick. Do you guys want to know what the slogan said on the truck? F excuses.
Oh my god.
For a gym that was like mental health, but fuck excuses. That's insane. That would be like a basketball team raising awareness for gun violence with like a slogan that says you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The audacity. Horoscopes too are getting pretty fucked, eh? Bit out of hand. No, you don't think so? There's a lot to know about yourself. That's not just what your sun sign is. You used to just read a newspaper when you're bored, flip a Cosmo, you know, when you're young and you're like, what's going on this week? It was fun. Now everyone's like, what's your zodiac sign? There's like a rising sign now. There's what's your moon sign? I'm like, bitch, I'm not a werewolf. This shit doesn't apply. I don't need to know. But it's like that saying, the saying that goes like, a bad carpenter always blames their tools. I think about that all the time, how we just want to like find some external factor and blame like why we are the way that we are. I read that serial killers are notoriously Pisces. Serial killers are also notoriously murderers. Man. Talking about all this shit, I would like to do a character for you guys. Is that okay? Can I do a little character monologue? Okay. This is a woman who is just way too into astrology. Okay. Hey Marla, get in here. Gosh, you want to know something that's just priceless? So I go to the doctors to get my test results back, and let me tell you something. The timing isn't great, but I go because I don't want to pay a cancellation fee. The doctor says to me, and this is just rich, he goes, Judy, we found a lump in your breast. And I say, are you sure? Did you double check? Did you get a second opinion? He goes, of course I did. I'm a professional. I said, well, I don't know. Did you consult a magic 8-ball? Did you open a fortune cookie? Is it National Prank Your Patient Day at work? He says, no, that's highly illegal. Anyways, I start looking around the room, and I'm just taking in these doctorates, just rolling my eyes, and I say, Dr. Macaluso, have you no idea that Mercury is in retrograde I mean, the audacity of this dipshit in a lab coat. Of course, you're going to find a lump in my breast when Mercury is moving backwards. He says, Judy, I don't think you understand. We're going to need to take a tissue sampling. It could be cancer. I say, I don't do well with cancers because I'm a Capricorn. He says, Judy, we're going to need to do a biopsy in order to determine the stage and best treatment plan for you. Then he starts shoving medical forms in my face, and I say, Dr. Macaluso, are you asking me to sign something when Mercury is in retrograde? Now, Marla, I don't care what it is. You never sign anything, not even language. Thank you very much. In a retrograde, Bill and I just got approved for an offer on a house, but we couldn't close the sale because I'm not signing shit in a retrograde. Needless to say, we did lose that house, and Bill is no longer speaking with me, and that's just fine because communication is fucked in a retrograde. I mean, Marla, there's not a lot you can do in retrograde, okay? I don't eat, I don't sleep, I don't check my emails or the door, I don't garden, I don't pray, I don't assume, I don't bathe, breathe, or breastfeed. Marla, do you want to know how many days this year is in retrograde? 70 fucked up goddamn days. That means in the year 2021, I can only make an important decision once every 5 days. Marley, it's not even safe to be at work right now. We are surrounded by computers, and computers only crash in a retrograde. So I tell that doctor, as above, so too below. So of course you're going to find a black hole in my breast when Mercury is moving backwards. He says, Judy, slow down. We're going to need to do surgery. It's spreading. And I said, knock, knock, doc. He's hesitant, but he does ask who's there. And I say, Mercury. And she's in retrograde. I mean, Marla, you can't get surgery when Mercury was in retrograde. You want to know who got surgery when Mercury was in retrograde? Renee Zellweger. And she's never been the same. I tell that doctor I'm not doing shit until Mercury's back in. Not retrograde. Then he tells me that I'm not taking my health seriously. I say, why don't you tell that to the 17 salt lamps I got plugged in? I might like negative ions, but I do not like your negative attitude. Then he calls me a fool, and I say a fool in the upright position means spontaneity, originality, and new beginnings. So thank you. Needless to say, I smudged the shit out of that waiting room, and I went home. And I know, Marla, I'm not a dope, okay? I cannot possibly blame everything on Mercury being in retrograde. So I did get a second opinion because I do take my health seriously. I consulted my tea leaves and they spelled out dancer. I mean, the D was a little bit wonky, but what's that? Could it have been a C? I might have cancer. Guys, that's it for me. Thank you so, so much.
Gillian Bartolucci, everybody. Gillian Bartolucci. Yes. All right. Well, we want to share a couple other things because I feel like we're getting to know each other. We know that you're lawyers. We know that it's been 2 years. Anything else you want to volunteer us? That's it? It's just lawyers, 2 years. Just 2 facts. Well, I'll tell you more facts about me. We talked about my job history leading to the alley guy. But another thing, I was very curious about science and nature. I grew up in the country, so pretty much dawn till dusk, I was out playing with friends, running through forests, through streams, through fields, playing with sticks and guns and pine cones and animals. I was big into little creatures and critters. I like to collect them. Like we'd find, it would be like a little nest and we'd bring it in, or we'd find worms or little fish and then we'd put them in a fish tank, all kinds of stuff. But I want to tell you a little story because one time, and I think I must have been about 10 years old, and I got it in my mind. I was big into amphibians, specifically frogs, bullfrogs, toads. I don't know if toads are amphibians. I think toads are land frogs. Are toads land frogs? I believe toads are land frogs. But I was big into frogs, so I was like, you know what? I am going to get me some baby frogs. In my head, I'm like, I'm going to amass an army of frogs as a young 10-year-old. It's going to be the bee's knees. No bees and frogs, just frogs, no bees, but it's going to be the bee's knees. and I'm going to raise a frog farm. So I went down to my local swamp. I don't know, where did you guys grow up? Did you grow up in the country or in city? Country, both of you?
Sudbury.
Oh, Sudbury. Sorry?
Sudbury and Chatham.
No, I heard you. I said, sorry, Sudbury. That's a hell of a place up there. Yeah. No, I love Sudbury. I've been there many, many times. And so Sudbury, and you are in the country?
Yeah.
Did you have a local swamp? Is there any? Yeah, you had a good old bog, a good old boggy swamp, huh? And so I knew that my swamp had tadpoles because I'd seen them there. We've been mucking around in the slime in the swamp in the bog, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get an ice cream bucket. I'm gonna walk. It was like a mile walk. We were in the middle of summer. We walked down there, and I'm like, I'm just gonna find the slimiest little, and you could see them, right? You could see the little tadpoles squiggling around. So dipped it in, got a big old lump, like just cluster of them. Like some of them hadn't quite hatched, and so I take the ice cream bucket and I go home and I'm like, this is it. This is the beginning. I am gonna raise an army of baby frogs. So many, like it looked like just little, like so many dots. They were just kind of squiggly, like they weren't frogs yet, but so I put them into a fish bowl, like a decent sized goldfish bowl, and I go to sleep in my little 10-year-old bed. And I'm just sleeping in my bed. All my room is all baseball, just to paint the picture. It's like baseball wallpaper, baseball trophies, baseball pennants, baseball figurines, just baseball, baseball, baseball. And I go to bed in my baseball room with my frogs incubating, thinking in the morning, I am going to be king of a frog army. I'm going to be the most froggy 10-year-old. I'm going to wait till I invite my friends over. And they're like, want to see my 500 frogs? Like I'm gonna open my own little frog emporium and start charging the neighbors to come through and see my frogs. So I go to bed, I dream of frogs. I'm dreaming of frogs, and I'm dreaming of them amassed in a horde in front of me, and I'm giving them like the Braveheart speech to go into battle. Tonight we march, and I'm firing them up. So I'm dreaming of frogs, and I wake up the next morning and I realized that was not tadpoles, it was mosquito larvae, and I am in a self-enclosed room, and I've sacrificed my 10-year-old chubby at the time, healthy chubby, I'm a little chubby, healthier, but chubby. I wake up, I should have had malaria. I was being swarmed. I raised 500 mosquitoes throughout the night, and raised myself up as a sacrifice on my altar of a baseball bed, and was just like a bloody, like Hy-Vee mess, screaming like, Mom! So never make that mistake. This was all pre-internet, so in my defense, I couldn't just Google what does a baby frog look like. So that's what you're looking at. It's hard to believe that I survived. I don't know how I had any blood left, to be honest with you. Have you ever been woken up by a swarm of mosquitoes? That's how I woke up. I woke up, my body was like, I don't think I have enough blood left in me to continue sleeping. And I woke up amongst a horde of mosquitoes. That's the mosquito, and that's the mosquito story. All right, you guys ready for your second, third? I don't know how many people you've seen. Third, yeah, thank you. Thank you, the official timekeeper. We actually have a special guest in the comedy business. This is called a drop-in or pop by. You never know who's wandering by. You get who's on the bill. Sometimes people will drop out because they're not able to be here, but then sometimes other comedians are just walking by because comedians, we're a breed and we hang with each other, so we're always hanging around. So we got a bonus comedian. This is the bonus comedian. You ready for the bonus comedian tonight? Please give it up. He runs shows all over the city. The lovely and hilarious Himanshu Patel, everyone. Himanshu Patel.
We're going for Lars, everybody. Give it up for Lars. Yeah, this is a drop-in set. Your Uber driver's here. The Indian variant is here. I was actually keeping my friend company as the headliner, who's going to close the show. He's fucking amazing. And I rolled with him to come here. And I'm like, oh, Comedy Alley. I thought it was like a Muslim comedy place that the guy's name is Ali. And it all makes sense because there's no fucking alcohol here. What the fuck is going on? It is a Muslim comedy show, Comedy Alley. So big up Laughing Vikings, man. This is great to be here, man. This is awesome. Where do I start? It's nice to see people. Let me tell you guys about myself, guys. All right, I'm 41 years old. I'm a single dad. I knocked up a WestJet flight attendant 10 years ago. Not the friendly skies. I'm Hindu. I love to eat beef, and I perform stand-up for very little to no pay, which means I'm trying to find 1,000 more ways to disappoint my Indian parents before they pass from COVID. It's crazy. What a fucking time indeed. What a time it's been. But you know what? My parents, Indian parents, like you guys, you guys all white here. Everyone's white, right? Except Ernie. Ernie's Filipino. But Indian people, we grew up with judgmental parents. You know, they expect us to do a lot more, like be doctors, lawyers, and all that shit. And my parents didn't give me a lot of flack. You know, they were really supportive of all the shit that I've done. But like I said, knocked them, flight attendant, and all this shit. They're really nice people, you know. But it's my friends' parents that were fucking assholes growing up, guys. They were nice. I had a friend of mine. His name was Raj. Okay, everyone knows a Raj here. I'd go pick him up at his house, and his dad would open the door and be like, "Oh, Himansu, good to see you, buddy. Have a seat. We need to have a small chat." I'm like, "What can I do you for, sir?" He's like, "Listen, you need to be more like my son Raj." I'm like, "What? Why?" He's like, "You know, you need to focus on your studies, get a good job, settle down, stop trying to have sex with blonde white girls." I'm like, "Sir, with all due respect, I got my degree. I'm working full time." "Yeah, but Raj, he did his master's. My son, he did his bachelor's first, his master's. He's going to go back to do his master's again. This guy is doing a master's of a master's." I'm like, "Sir, that makes no sense. Your son is doing his master's in masturbation. That's what Raj is doing." I swear to God, I saw him doing coke on hooker's back last Saturday night. Don't judge me about my life. And what's crazy about this pandemic, guys? Indian parents are gloating every day, even during the fucking pandemic. For example, that same fucking guy, Raj's dad, Raj is now a doctor. So we go to his house now. He's like, "Oh, Raj, he's now finally a doctor. And he's saving lives. He's on the front lines. He's essential, and he's saving lives from COVID-19. My other son, Sandeep, he used to be a fucking loser, but he's also an essential worker. He's packing bags and no frills. He's also essential." But it's been a crazy year indeed, man. I'll be honest with you guys. I lost a friend of mine last July. I lost my uncle in September. I lost my best friend in November. And I lost my father in February. Yeah, pretty crazy. I know it's like, it's a little bleak. It's crazy, right? I know. You gotta just keep it rolling. You gotta keep it moving. I was watching this Kobe Bryant documentary before he fucking went on that helicopter travel trip, whatever he did, and he said you gotta keep it going. You know, and that's exactly how I chose to live my life. You gotta keep it going. And when my dad passed away, guys, we're all happy that he's no longer suffering. You know, he was aging. He lost his vision. He was on diabetes. He was suffering a lot. And my whole family were like, we're glad he doesn't have to fucking wear masks. He doesn't have to social distance, you know. He's going back to doing the things he loved, like watching over his children, listening to Indian music with the angels, being racist again. My dad's a great guy. My dad had a very thick Indian accent growing up, guys. Okay? So every time I brought white people over to my house, it was fucking hilarious because he'd murder every word in the dictionary. So we'd be all at the dinner table, eating butter chicken and stuff, you know. And he would, as he got older, like I said, he lost his vision. So they had to sell the house and they bought a condo, right? My dad was very proud of his purchase of the condo, right? So every time people came over, he's boasting and gloating about this condo purchase, but he couldn't say the word condominium properly because of his accent. So he called it condom. True story. This guy, we'd be eating dinner and he'd be like, "I love this condom so much. This condom is beautiful. The property next to this condom is not bad at all, you know? Look at the paint, everybody. This is latex paint. We are living inside a latex condom." God bless his soul, man. But what a year indeed. Yeah, you got to keep it moving, man. You know, as the people passed away, I was worried, right? The virus, the news cycle's crazy. Twitter feeds are crazy. You know, I wasn't really too concerned about the virus taking me down, guys. Even to this day, I'm more concerned about the last thing that I tweet. You know, back in the day, I was a big DJ fan. Nicole Richie's ex-boyfriend, DJ AM. You guys know AM? Yeah. Anyways, he passed away, and I used to follow him on Twitter back in 2009. He passed away, and he wrote, "New York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, New York, it isn't what it seems." And then, boop, he passed away of an overdose, right? Nipsey Hussle, he's a rapper. He passed away. He got gunned down outside his store in Los Angeles, and he tweeted, "Having strong enemies is a blessing." Oh. Crazy. I'm scared my last piece of me butter chicken's on special, you know? But pandemic's been nuts, man. You know, everyone's working from home and shit. I work a day job, right? I gotta survive. You know, everyone work a day job here. You guys are lawyers, right? I heard you guys are lawyers. You guys are celebrating your anniversary. That's great, right? But honestly, my girlfriend broke up with me this week. So I'm doing this gas spot. He's like, hey, by the way, they're celebrating their anniversary. I was bursting into fucking tears in the back, you know? Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. Like I said, you got to keep it moving, you know? But anyways, this whole fucking like this fucking whole year's been nuts, you know? So I'm working from home, and people are saying it's supposed to be more productive working from home because you're beating traffic in the morning, traffic in the evening, and shit like that, right? But I don't get any work done. I can't get work done anymore because I'm attending all these fucking diversity and inclusion trainings. Every day, there's a fucking training. I'm not knocking it, guys. As a brown man, I support all the movements, okay? Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, the 250 Indian kids. I'm not the Indian kids at Brampton. I'm talking about the Indian kids, you know? All the movements I support, okay? But I can't get work done because I'm supporting all these fucking trainings every day. But my white colleagues are loving these diversity trainings. It's debunking a lot of myths. My colleague Brian, he goes to these online trainings and then he joins his wife for dinner and he says to his wife Brenda, he's like, Brenda, I love these diversity and inclusion and sensitivity trainings. I'm learning so much every day and I love it. While he's eating dinner, whatever you fucking white people eat, tuna casserole, fucking hamburger helper, whatever you guys eat. So he's like, honey, I love these trainings so much. And guess what? They really don't eat dogs. And all Indian people don't smell. You can laugh at that. It's okay. We're in a fucking alley. No one can hear us. It's okay. White people, it's fine to laugh at it. I said, they're not eating dogs and they don't smell. I'm debunking the myths. I'm doing service to you guys. It is a touchy time, I know. I get it. It's fine. Thank God my HR department's not here. I'll be fucking fired on Monday. Nuts, man. I get diversity. I'm sorry. This whole fucking pandemic's been crazy for everybody. Everyone's wondering this whole like fucking. I joked about being an Indian variant. You know, there's like the Delta variant. There's all these different variants from Brazil and fucking UK and everywhere, right? I wonder if the original coronavirus is like all these foreign variants are taking our jobs. This pandemic's been nuts. Everyone's wondering, oh, the vaccines are working, cases are going down, cases are fluctuating everywhere. What am I going to do? Is my kid going to be back in school in September? You know, do I have to continue wearing masks? Do I have to continue physical distancing? My biggest concern is what the fuck are the stores going to do with the stickers on the floor? You go to Shoppers Drug Mart, you see all these stickers. Go tomorrow to Shoppers, 6 feet apart. They're never 6 feet apart, guys. They're never 6 feet apart. 2 feet if anything. They're a bunch of fucking liars. There's Loblaw, Shoppers, Rexall, anywhere you go, they're not 6 feet, they're 2 feet apart. Next time I'm in bed with a girl, I'm going to say my cock is 12 inches. And they'll be like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yes, it is. Ask Shoppers Drug Mart, you know? Pandemic's crazy. Okay, so one thing, all you guys up to. So last year, I turned 40 years old. The last year in May. Thanks for wishing me a early birthday. But no, I turned 40 last year and decided to give up pornography. I said, you know what, a lot of people were making bread during the pandemic. I said, I'm going to start fucking jerking off, you know? So I stopped watching porn completely because I was watching it every fucking day, you know? As a dad of a 10-year-old girl, I process things very differently, guys. I don't watch it the same as I used to before I had my kid. I fucking process things different. Before I had my child, I'd watch porn and I'd ask myself questions while I'm watching the video, and I'm like, oh my god, I wonder if this girl does anal. Now I'm like, I wonder what she's majoring in school. I hope she's okay. I wonder if she's not taking too many electives. Before I'm like, oh my god, I wonder if this girl has trouble swallowing. Now I'm like, I wonder if she has trouble swallowing Tylenol when she's sick. Like, you know, she's good. There's a lot of fucking porn out there, man. I was watching a lot of it when I was fucking during the lockdown. I watch so much porn, guys. I fucking have dreams about porn stars in the middle of the night. Like, not even porn stars. Random black guys would show up in my dreams. I watch like cuckold videos. You guys know what that is? Cuckold? Very popular amongst the whites. So cuckold is pretty much a threesome, right? It's typically a married couple, like you guys, in their mid-40s or 50s, and usually they're on vacation. Typically, it's a black guy having sex with a wife, right? And that got my brain thinking. I'm like, wait a second, what if this guy wasn't black and he was Indian? Wouldn't that just be outsourced? It's like a white guy takes an ad on Craigslist, whatnot. His name is Robert. He works in your office, doing like accounting. Just likes to keep it spicy in the bedroom, no pun intended. And this Indian guy shows up at the door, named like Sanjay. Oh, Robert, I'm here to fuck your wife, buddy. Let's fuck your wife. But Sanjay's like, he finishes work at Rogers and like tech support, so he ends up like troubleshooting the whole fucking room for some reason. So he goes to Robert. He's like, okay, Robert, before we get into this might be recorded for quality control and training purposes. Did you turn her on? Yeah, she's turned on, Robert. Fuck my wife. Okay, but if you plug it in, take it out, wait 10 seconds, and plug it back in. That's my time, folks. My name is Samantha Pacelli to give up to Lars for running this biggest show and Laughing Vikings. Your headliner's awesome.
I'm about to tell everyone. For anyone just paying attention there, this is one of the weird side effects of this pandemic is nobody knows how to shake, like, are we shaking hands? Are we fist bumping? I don't know what he did there. I don't know what I did. I think I went for, I think it was just the classic trailer hitch it was just this. We docked. I believe that's called docking right there. But it felt right. We kind of made a little eye contact and we just touched each other in a really weird, awkward way and we immediately Purelled our hands. How you guys doing? You guys are good? Good. You drafting up some of those articles? How's the prenup working? We got 500 pages gone. I believe in you guys. I really believe in you. We do a lot of amazing things. Last week we gave birth to a baby in this alley, and this week we're gonna sign a prenup. That's great. I wish your name was O'Malley, so that we could hire you to do lawyer commercials and be like, injured in an alley? Right? Injured in an alley? Call me, Mr. O'Malley. I think we could do that. Let's think about it. We'll tinker it. We're going to tinker it. We have a fantastic headliner going to close out the show. All of your acts. Give it up for all the acts tonight. Every week we got the best of the best in Canada. This guy has performed at Just for Laughs, JFL 42. He's done all the comedy clubs, done all the festivals, and he's here in an alley for you tonight. We just wandered into an alley. Here he is. Give it up for Earnie Vicente, everyone. Earnie.
Yeah. Come on. What's up? How are you guys? Sold out show. Did you get putting my name on the poster, Lars? You're like, oh, fuck that. Listen, I like this. Two lawyers. Lars' girlfriend. Very supportive. I like that. Her face is. Where did you guys meet?
Here.
Like in the alley?
Almost, like in the studio.
In the studio.
Yeah.
Okay. Lawyers. Where did you guys meet? The card room?
Law school.
Law school. Yeah. I watch a lot of those those lawyer shows. You know what I mean? Like Suits. A lot of shit goes down, eh? We'll talk later. A lot of cocaine. Right? I can smell the money from you guys, you know? Where do you guys live? You own it. What? What is going on in this country? Two rich lawyers can't own an apartment? Is it a house? Oh, renting? Come on. You're giving me so much hope, guys. Two lawyers can't even own
I recently moved. I got a condo in Etobicoke, next to my daddy, Justin Trudeau, out of CRB. That's great. Lawyers, huh? You guys vaxxed? Double? Which flavor did you get? Right? Pfizer. Both of you?
One of each.
One.
Moderna and Pfizer.
Both of you.
I'm Pfizer.
You both. Oh, you're. I'm like you, sir. What's your name?
Mason.
Mason.
No.
Good lawyer name. Gary Mason. That's good. Yeah, I did Pfizer and Moderna too. I like to mix and match. You know, some people are like, oh, why'd you do that? I'm like, come on. Do you go to Baskin Robbins and get 2 scoops of Rocky Road? No. You're the weirdo. Live on the edge. People are like, Ernie, are you gonna get the vaccine? I'm like, of course, Mason. I'm getting the vaccine. I never say no to drugs. No pussy. And I've been to a lot of raves. 99, 2003. Woo! Big rave years. You know, I trust the drugs from Shoppers Drug Mart. I don't know about those drugs that I met in the back of the alley. You know, those ecstasy pills. It's like, just take it with water, man. Mason, do you do drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of drugs do you do?
We like weed. We like weed a lot.
Weed a lot? Okay. Mushrooms? Acid?
No.
I like acid. That's my drug of choice. This show is sponsored by acid. Look under your seats. You don't know. It's like a little square. Here's the thing. Mushrooms are nice, right? You're fucked up. Can I swear? Lars?
Oh yeah.
Can I swear on Facebook?
Yeah.
I don't know. My mom's watching now. These are all jokes, Mom. I do not do drugs. Yo, but acid? So the mushrooms, you're fucked for 4 hours. Okay? Acid, it's a little longer. You're fucked for 8 days. Now you better take vacation if you do acid. Woo! I remember I did acid March 12th, 2020. Yeah. The next day I woke up, world shut down. So to this day, Mason, I don't know if I'm still fucked up or are we really doing comedy shows in an alley? Lars like, just meet me in the bag. I'm like, all right, fine. I've been to raves. Does someone live here? Right here? Oh, I thought like someone was gonna come up. Hey, keep it down. What's happening? Lawyers. How old are you, Mason?
28.
What the fuck? I'm 39. You probably made more this year than I've in my entire life. Lars, I'm getting very upset. Can you remove 75% of this audience? I'm getting so pissed. Good looking, rich, young. Ah. You live together? Fuck yeah. So you've been together for like a long time. 8 years. No? I don't know. How long's the law school?
3 years.
Okay, whatever. I just did high school. Look at me now. This is the dream. I did, yeah. A lot of acid, man. That's fun. Hey, Mason, remember Mansu was talking about porn? I remember you remember your first porn?
I don't know.
What? You're 28. You're probably like 9 years old. My first porn was March 31st, 1996.
Oh my God.
I remember the date because it was the night of WrestleMania 13. Big night. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Sexy Boy. You know him? Versus Bret the Hitman Hart. Big night. But here's the thing. Back in the day, Mason, we didn't have internet. You know?
Right now, you could go on your phone, type in porn, type in boobies. You get all the boobies you want. Back in the 90s, we didn't have that shit. We had something called the box. So we would have this illegal box, and we have to put it on channel 66 or some shit. Viewer's choice, pay-per-view. Okay, my dad had it, right, because he's Asian, right? Pacific Mall was huge back then. So he had it. And he had it in his room because he knew, Camille, he knew that if I had my hands on this, I'll be just cranking it all night, you know? So he kept it in his room. I was like, Dad, please let me use the box downstairs. I just want to watch WrestleMania 13. My favorite wrestler, Shawn Michaels, the sexy boy, he's going to win the championship. My dad's like, all right, fine. But right after the show, you bring it back up. Because he knows. You know, it's 10 o'clock. Porn time. So I bring it downstairs. So I'm watching wrestling, right? Great show. Gold dust. 10 o'clock hits. It's porn time. So I'm like, what do I do? Right? I can watch the rest of the Shawn Michaels match, or I can see boobies. What did I pick, Mason?
The boobies.
The boobies, obviously. So I changed the channel to porn, right? And I start going at it, right? My dad knew, right? Because he was like a cat. He was like listening, right? And all I heard was, and he was like, what the fuck is going on down there? This guy better be scratching his eye or some shit. He came down, right? He was quick, but Mason, I was quicker. Right when he turned the corner, right? I put my dick back in my thing, and I changed the channel back to wrestling. But 14-year-old dick, it's still hard, right? So I'm lying there like, ugh. So he looked at my dick. He looked at the wrestling. I was like, what the fuck? So this whole time he thought I was masturbating to Shawn Michaels. He's a sexy boy, Mason. He's a heartbreak kid, right, Gillian? You know this. It's a boy toy. Where'd you grow up? Sudbury?
Sudbury.
White parents? They help, they support you and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm getting very upset. Asian dads, they don't give a fuck about me. I'm the middle kid. That's what happens. You become a clown. It's a cry for help. Hey, pay attention. My dad, he hates that I do this. He wanted me to be a lawyer or or work at Sharper's Joint Mart or something. He just wanted me to get a job, basically. I was like, no, fuck that. His birthday was a few weeks ago, and I went to get a birthday card, right? Shoppers Drug Mart. Have you seen these aisles? It's just cards, right? It took me an hour to find the right card for this guy. Because each card was like, oh, dear Dad, you're so loving. No. Dear Dad, you're so supportive. Nah. Finally, after an hour, I found him and said, oh, dear Dad, you are my dad. I'm like, all right. It's pretty factual. 28. I dated a 50-year-old woman by accident. Okay, she's Asian. We're flawless. 64. And turn it down. The music. 50 years old. Man. She was a swinger, they said. You know what a swinger is? What? What's a swinger? Tell your girlfriend.
I have no idea.
Facebook, we have a liar in the front row. Swingers are people that have sex with everybody. Disgusting. Ew. You know? So she brought me to a swingers club. It's in Etobicoke, right? Obviously. And it's called M4. Guess what the M stands for, Mason? It's not Mason. Any M word you can think of. Menage. Menage a quatre. They encourage foursomes. Camille, that's disgusting. That's a lot of pressure for me. I was so nervous, you know? Because I've never had M4 before. Right? Lars, have you?
No.
I've never had M3. You know, I barely have M2s. A lot of M1s. And, you know, we went to the back. So basically it's a basement. You know, it's a basement with like instead of like tables and chairs, it's just mattresses on the ground, and everyone's naked having sex. You know, so picture like a Leon's showroom. It's like that, and everyone's no suits, nothing. Right? So we go to the back, and then everyone's doing it around. And then my girlfriend slash grandma, her girlfriend starts making out with her, right? They start having sex on the bed. Okay, I was like, whoa, that's weird. And then this older dude, right? He comes in with a robe, right? He's like Ric Flair. He's like, woo, right? He comes in, he starts having sex with both of them. They connected, Mason. They became a well-oiled threesome machine. They look like you know the recycling symbol. It's like that. It's too much. Like Earnie, come join. I'm like, I can't. There's no more holes. That's my best joke. You know, when you go to a roller coaster, and it's like the down part. The down part was really early in the ride. You know, now it's just. Where do we talk? How old are you, basically, when you?
Wow, that was sweet.
Lars, the candle just committed suicide.
The alley ghost.
The candle's like, fuck this guy on stage. I cannot take more of his stupid dick jokes. I'm out of here. I used to live Trinity Bellwoods. Mason, have you been there? You look like it. You look like a Trinity Bellwoods kind of guy. Sitting in the circle. Were you offended when they tossed out all those homeless people?
That's not great. Not great.
I guess. Well, like some of my friends were offended. I'm like, I've seen you with homeless people. You don't give a fuck about them. You know, I walk with my friends at Young and Dundas Square, and I've seen them like give money, but they'd be like, "Do not touch me." They toss, you know what I mean? They toss quarters at them. I'm like, do not be offended. All right, you don't care. I was at Trinity Bellwoods in January. Last January, I was walking, right, having a nice coffee, right? This guy came out of the tent, pulled this huge hog out. Those kids are running around. He takes his huge dick out, starts peeing everywhere, and I was like, what the fuck? Life is unfair. How dare he have a bigger dick than me? So I went home that night in my heated bedroom, and I cried. It's like, what the fuck is going on? You know? They said that dicks get stripped. Cold doesn't do anything to dicks, man. You know? Anyways, I'm on acid. I went down. We used to live at the Trinity Bellwoods, but Queen and Bathurst, nice area, you know. But 2 years ago, our landlord died, and we killed him. And He was so annoying. Oh, Ren Slater, shut the fuck up. I'm kidding, Camille. He died of natural falling down the stairs. I lived in a house basically with three white guys, three white dudes. You know, when the landlord died, three white dudes pissing their pants. They're like, where the fuck are we gonna go on such short notice, right? Me, Asian, I was calm as fuck. I knew exactly where I was going. Back to my parents' house. Because Asians always take you back. You know? And here's proof Asians always take you back. If you go around the city tonight, you'll never see an Asian homeless guy. It's true. Because the families always take you back. You know? I could have a crippling heroin addiction. You know? I could lose everything, right? My house, my iPhone, my charger, all my belongings. And my mom was still like, it's okay, baby, come home, come. You know, bring your needles. As long as you do the drugs in our house. All my white friends, right? All my white friends, they got kicked out. Did you get kicked out, Lisa? No? All my white friends got kicked out when they turned 16. They're like, oh, you got a job at McDonald's? Congratulations. Now get the fuck out. Good luck, Kyle. Yeah. And then they turned his room to a fucking office or some shit. Yoga studio. So it's a good. I live. So I'm living with my parents' basement. Nice place. You know, I have my own washroom. It's great. You know, and here's the best part about living in your parents' basement. You know, if I can't pay rent one month and I get kicked out, I just go back upstairs to my childhood bedroom. You know, and I'd be like, hey buddy, your $50 check bounced again. Get the fuck out. I'm like, all right. I'll be upstairs. So let me pack my charger. Get the fuck out of here. I'll do a few more dick jokes. And then we'll log off on Facebook. I got speaking of dick jokes. I got circumcised. How old are you? Are you circumcised? No? Excuse me. Are you? Lars? Yeah. Come on. Get with it. What are you waiting for? You went to law school before you got circumcised? It's a weird order of things. I got circumcised when I was 14. Bad. Too late. You know, actually don't do it. It hurts. It hurts if you do it after 10. You know, do it like as a baby. You guys have babies? Make sure you do it as a baby. Yeah, you don't remember that shit. But 14, you remember everything. So 14, if you guys remember, 14 is when you're going into high school. Okay? And you do not want to tell your high school friends you cut your dick off. Okay? It was my dad's idea. So I think because he saw me masturbating. Yeah. I was like, oh, you gotta turn you into a man. How old were you when you did it?
I was maybe.
Oh, you don't remember Lars? Oh yeah, see? I was sitting there. You know what I mean? I was reading People magazine. I was like, oh, George Clooney's Batman? I'm so excited. Very embarrassing. You know, I couldn't tell my friends. Right? But here's what happens. Here's what happens when you get circumcised at 14. They cut it, right? And all this blood comes out. So they put like 10 pounds of gauze around your penis. You know, so he looks like this huge like anthill. You know? So my friends would come over and they'd be like, hey, come bike. Right? That's what we did when we were 14. Right, Mason? Right? Before all the cocaine. Like, come bike, Ernie. I'm like, no, I can't because of my thing. You can't bike because it hurts. Right? It touches like the bar and stuff. But I can't tell them I got my dick cut, right? I don't want them to make fun of me. So like, oh no, I can't bike right now for the next 8 weeks because I'm grounded. But they knew that I was lying because I'm Asian, and Asian people do not get grounded. We just get spanked a lot. Okay, so my friends are like, okay, you know what? We know you're lying. We're gonna come inside. If you don't want to come out, we're gonna come in. So they came in and we watched, Darkwing Duck, as we do. Right? Very funny show. Are you a fan? Launchpad the Plan? Anyways, So we're watching Darkwing Duck, having a great time. Okay, so I'm sitting on one couch, my two friends on the other one. We're laughing. Gosling. Commercial comes up, right? My friends are still laughing. I'm like, what's happening? I look over. They're not laughing at the TV. They're laughing because they see my huge boner. Because of the gauze. Right? And they're like, yo, do you have a huge boner because of Darkwing Duck? I'm like, no, you stupid. I was thinking of Shawn Michaels. He was the Heartbreak Kid. You watch Walking Dead? Mason? No? Anybody? Gillian? Woo! I have 10 minutes of Walking Dead jokes. I'll do it anyways. There's a dude there on Walking Dead. His name is Morgan. And okay, Mason, I have a question. If there was a zombie apocalypse, right, and you could pick any weapon in the world to use to kill zombies, which would you pick?
A gun?
Gun. Correct. Correct. People are like, sword? Like, shut the fuck up. Gun. That's correct. Always gun. So there's a guy on The Walking Dead. His name is Morgan, and he has a stick. That's his weapon. That's who kills zombies, you know? Another guy who uses a stick is my favorite cartoon from the Ninja Turtles, Donatello. Right? He's a stick. Everyone has swords, whatever, right? Size and nunchucks, cool weapons. This guy's a stick, you know? Imagine you were like a robber, right, Mason? You know, the lawyer firm went down or something, and you're like, I need money for rent. I'm very poor now, you know? So I'm gonna rob a bank. And then you rob the bank, or you try to rob the bank, but Donatello stops you with his fucking stick. Imagine, you know what I mean? You go back to your girlfriend. What's your name? Mallory, obviously. Mason and Mallory. Ah, your names are cute too. Ah, my name's Earnie. What the fuck is that? My face matches. Imagine you go back to Mallory, and you go, oh sorry Mallory, I couldn't get the money because I got stopped by this guy. He attacked me, and she's like, oh, tell me more about this guy. And you're like, oh, he was this giant turtle, and he hit me with a stick. And then Mallory's gonna be like, oh, like a spear, like a sharp spear. It's like, no, like a you know, like the end of the broom, like that. Oh, and then Mallory's like, oh no, you know, Mason, you're concussed. You mean like a bat? Like a bat? And he's like, no, not a bat, like a barbecue stick. And Mallory's like, okay, fine, we're gonna go find this guy. We're gonna kick this guy's ass. What did this giant turtle look like? And Mason's like, fuck. I don't know. He was wearing a purple mask, so. That was the big closer. Yeah? Any kids watching? That's how you end the show. And on Ninja Turtle jokes. Well, this has been fun. Thank you, Facebook and YouTube, Lars, Camille, Mallory, Mason, Gillian, Mansu, Luna, the dog, who left during my show. She's like, fuck this. She brought the candle with her. Okay, thank you very much. Give it up for Lars Classington.
We did it, everyone. We did it. Keep going for Ernie Vicente. You also saw Jeremy Dobski, Gillian Bartolucci, Himansu Patel. You saw Luna the Wonder Pug. You saw me. Thank you so much. Make some noise if you're a lawyer, and this is the best damn 2-year anniversary you ever had in an alley. We did it. We do this every Friday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. Follow us at Laughing Vikings on Instagram for show updates. And this coming Thursday, we have a special show. We're hosting a ladies' night of comedy featuring some of the best female comedians and LGBTQ friendly here in Comedy Alley. And I just want to say one more thing. If you slip and fall in an alley, call Mason and Mallory. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night. We did it.
Enjoy your life,